Hello, how are you? I am in New York City, and it is late at night, but I was just gifted a lot of great clips. Zohran Mamdani, Bernie Sanders, held a rally here in New York City, focused on everything happening nationally, some of the stuff happening in New York, how it kind of transcends what's happening nationally. And I thought to myself, wow, these are pretty great, inspiring, hopeful clips. And last time I did a hope post, y'all loved it. Y'all loved the hope. We got to focus on the bad stuff, but when we have some good stuff, we should focus on that too. And so I have that for you right now. Bernie Sanders, Zohran Mamdani, let's go. First, Bernie Sanders saying right here that there's no such thing as a radical idea.
In the richest country in the history of the world, it is not a radical idea to say that every man, woman, and child in America can have a decent standard of living. That ain't radical.
Shouldn't be.
It's not radical to say that we can have a vibrant democracy by getting rid of Citizens United and moving to public funding of elections. It's not radical to say that the billionaire class has got to start paying their fair share of taxes. It is not radical to say that health care is a human right, not a privilege. And that we should not be the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to every man, woman, and child.
That's something I talk a lot about here on this channel, that I only recently got health care, literally because this channel has given me enough income that I could afford it. So I know the pain and the anxiety of not having health care. And no one should have to live like that. Especially in this country, in any country, but especially in the richest country in the world. That's one thing we should be able to and will take off people's plates.
It is not radical to say that we should have the best educational system from child care to graduate school in the world. It is not radical to say that we should not have the highest rate of childhood poverty, the highest rate of senior poverty of almost any major country on earth.
Y'all, that was just the beginning. Here is what Zohran Mamdani had to say about New York City.
I think of Accessoride as one of many examples of city government's own failures. I have been guilty in the beginnings of my politics of thinking that if I were to admit the incompetence, the inefficiencies, the failures of the public sector, I would be inviting critique of the existence of that sector. But when you do not admit those things, when you do not reckon with those betrayals, those failures, you make it seem as if you do not care about the outcomes of that sector. We have allowed the right wing to take language of efficiency, of fraud, of waste, of quality of life as if it is their own. It should be the cornerstones of progressive politics. And so to your point, Accessoride. We can even go further with how so many New Yorkers get around New York City. More than 1 million ride the bus. We have to reckon with the failures. And one of the first things I will be doing when I get to City Hall, with the help of each and every one of you, is to audit the entirety of the work that we do and that we fund.
I love that. It's Doge, but for real. Not Doge where they actually end up spending more money and taking everyone's data, but actually trying to audit the government to make life better for everyone. Oh, what a radical concept. Now, if you don't know, Zohran Mamdani is running against Cuomo, who was in the primary and I guess just doesn't like when people tell him no. And here he is. Here's Zohran on that.
Partnership is critically important in fighting back against Donald Trump. Can you imagine Andrew Cuomo working together with Tish James and Kathy Hochul
That's a good point.
fight back against the deployment? Why would he fight back when it's Donald Trump that's trying to get him elected right now?
Yeah, and if you don't know, there was reporting happening that Donald Trump had offered Eric Adams an ambassadorship if he were to drop out. That's how much Donald Trump doesn't want this man to get elected, is he's offering out ambassadorships like candy to candidates so that they drop out and so that Cuomo could have a better shot at beating Zohran. That's why it's so important that we make sure we come out to vote, because they're doing what they can. We got to do what we can. And here's this part. Yes, I wanted to show you this. Bernie really does a great job of saying very simply what is happening and how un-American this all is.
This idea of picking people up off the street with men who have masks around their faces, throwing them into vans, taking them to God knows where, and then deporting them to countries where they know nobody, is beyond unspeakable. It is disgusting. It is what takes place in two-bit dictatorships. That's what happens in dictatorships, not in the United States of America. So in Washington, we have our responsibility to stop that ugly behavior.
Oh, yes, it is ugly. It's awful. One thing's wrong there. That's what happens in two-bit dictatorships. Well, it also happens here right now. He describes some things happening here, and it's abhorrent, but that is America today, what he just described. Now, here is how Bernie Sanders ended it.
Thank you all very much for coming out. Thank you.
It was his birthday. They sang him happy birthday, too. It was very cute.
You know, getting to be 50 years of age, Zohran, it's not that easy. Pretty hard. All right. There you go. All right. Brothers and sisters, I think what we have heard tonight from the questions, from Zohran, from me, these are unprecedented and difficult moments in our history. But you know what? This country has gone through difficult moments in the past.
Yes.
The essence of Trumpism is dividing us up. What we believe is bringing our people together. They are the 1%. We are the 99%. Let us stand together. Let us defeat oligarchy and make New York and America the places we know they can become. Thank you all very much.
Woo! Yes. Yes. I needed that. Donald Trump has fear, we have love. Donald Trump has division, we have unity. 100%. They are the 1%, we are the 99%. And we are going to rise against them. This is truly, to me, how this kind of all looks, what Donald Trump is doing and everything else. This is just like the last final yell of this previous, of like this overwrought capitalism and billionaires with too much power. I think this is like the final breath, and then something new is going to be born. That's kind of what I believe. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking right now. 1:30 in the morning. 1:30 in the morning. Okay. Well, thanks for watching. I love that. I wish I could have went, but guess what? Flying is terrible now. Thanks, Secretary Duffy. Flight got canceled, and now I'm in New York. 5 hours later after taking Amtrak, the train, the most civilized form of travel. Anyways, so, but I'm glad I got to see some of it. And I'm glad you got to see it. And I am glad we are here together. And I'll see you next time. Bye.